Hi, I'm Henry Rosewall, and joining me today in the Chaos TV studio, I'm joined by our lovely Laura from Chaos.
Hi.
Woo! Big studio applause over there, obviously, as you can see. Laura's here with me today even, to talk about Inside Out and their projects, what they've got going on. More importantly, we've been down to see the Shed to Shed project down west. We sent Alex down there a couple of weeks ago. So we're here with Laura today to find out more about it. Welcome, Laura.
Hi, Henry.
Thank you very much. So tell us, what is and who are Inside Out?
Cool. So Inside Out is a project that's funded by community-led local development company who basically use ESF funding to support projects that are supporting people across Cornwall. So our catchment area is West Cornwall for this project, and specific postcodes across West Cornwall. And it's to help people really post-COVID. And from Inside Out, we're all about getting people from inside their homes, re-engaging them with their communities and getting back out into the community to support positive wellbeing and emotional health.
I think it's a big part of it since COVID and lockdown and things like this. Things have started to open up again and people are still very hesitant to go out, rightfully so if they're, for example, one of the vulnerable, and they have been told, for years now to keep themselves safe and out of things. It is slowly coming back into the real world again, and these groups are starting up. Have you found it's been a gentle increase, or are people now jumping to look to do things?
I think people are wanting to do things and re-engage, and I think there's still quite a big anxiety about how to be out and about in a community. And I think people are relaxing at different rates. I think some people are now pretty like, not it didn't happen, but if you've had your vaccinations, you've had your booster, they're just going about life as normal. Whereas there are other people that have still got that anxiety.
I think it comes from seeing those now going out and enjoying these groups again, where people are realising, oh, actually, yeah, these things are great. They're open again. I've been meaning to do this. I've almost thought about doing it before the pandemic as well. So now is that time, isn't it? Definitely.
And I think also like a positive of that as well is lots of people that we work with who are just isolated because of their life circumstances generally, even pre-pandemic and lockdown, have actually said to us, like, you're just experiencing my world.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's given us a really good insight to what
it's almost opened those doors again for these people, hasn't it? So what was the start with Inside Out? What was the inspiration behind it?
Inside Out is a partnership between Clear. So they work with people around trauma-informed and emotional health and well-being. And then Rebuild Southwest, which is a construction company that looks at renovating places and spaces across the community. So it's a real doing project, getting people out and about and doing. We've got community activity in there. We've got some set workshops. You can get some qualifications. We've also got Chaos, us guys in there with the care sector. We've got Smiley Kylie. And you can get free care training. So she can kickstart you on your way into the care sector. And again, I think from Inside Out, we recognise that there is that leap to going back out. And actually we can support people virtually successfully in their homes. I think that's a big learning from the pandemic is actually you can reach people through the internet and phone calls.
I think, again, it's how different people have taken to it, isn't it? We were just saying how much better off you like to work at home.
Yeah.
I was saying for me, not for me. I rather be in here and be, on everybody's nerves chatting away too much for the day,
Yeah.
So I think everybody's different, and almost the silver lining, I know the pandemic's been this awful thing, but however, we've had to find a way and a means of communicating.
Definitely.
And some people, it has been, an advantage.
Yeah. Definitely.
They're happy to do it that way. This is, it eliminates that face-to-face pressure.
Yes.
If that's what's putting you off exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the projects, the activities that they are doing with Inside Out. What is the work that's happening?
So there's Shed to Shed, which happens every Thursday, which is basically all about come along and have a cuppa and a chat. It's a safe space. And it's about also upcycling and recycling things that you might have lying around. So that reuse rather than throw away culture. So if you've got anything in your shed or your house and you think actually this just needs a little bit of love and life put back into it, you can take that along to the shed. The kettle will be on. There's somebody there to have a chat to, and you might learn some skills or be able to share some skills. So if you're a whiz at painting furniture, then please go along and you might be able to help somebody else.
So it's that broad range of skills, isn't it? And again, I think they come from life experiences. And at places like this where it is community, sometimes you don't know that somebody has these experiences or these skills, you know, and it's until you go somewhere like this, one of these groups, you think, do you know what, I didn't know so-and-so was a dab hand with a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know somebody could, you know, solder my kettle. You just don't know, do you?
No,
Because
you
it's not
don't.
something you ask on the street. So I think that it really opens up that book of skills that you don't find so much anymore.
Definitely. I mean, I think like the guys working on the project can then help people transfer them onto a CV. Because I think lots of people think, oh, I'm not so far away from working or volunteering or even applying for a training course. But actually, if you, like you're saying, if you just have a chat about your life and what you get up to, there'll be a lot
you
in
finding
there.
out about it.
Yeah.
I think, like you say, going into training and education and things, a lot of the time people are put off thinking there's so much red tape around these things.
Yeah.
Whereas this really is a stepping stone for those people. You know, we've dealt with this before. I say we, the royal we, you know, the gorgeous people in the positive people team and things like that. They've dealt with these things before.
Yeah.
They know, oh, actually, this works for so-and-so. We can use this as an example.
Yeah.
And it's that shared experience that keeps everybody happy.
Yeah, and that word stepping stone is really important, isn't it? Like literally, if you've got any inkling that you might fancy doing something tomorrow, in a month, in a year, then it's just pop along and having a cuppa with somebody and going, actually, I've had this thought.
And there's
that's where it
absolutely no harm in trying it either.
No.
This is the thing, I think, isn't it? You can go along for that first session, have a cup of tea and a biscuit, by all means. If it doesn't work out, at the end of the day, you've still had a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy with that sort of thing. And again, it's really about getting out and into the community side of things and seeing what's out there.
Definitely. So yeah, that's the other part of the project. So Rebuild runs community projects. So they've been to like Trellia and they've updated their garden space as an example. They've been to a Morab surgery. So they had a garden space which they've cleared and they created like a little gazebo area. So the social prescribers will start using that as an outdoor space, which was important because in lockdown all front facing had to stop because it was all indoors. And also just a place for the community to start re-accessing outdoor spaces and connecting back to services. And then also Maria from Clear, she does some brilliant workshops. So they did one with clay. So she bought some clay and they all sat around. It was all about actually like, you know, practicing calmness and concentration. But again, it's just done outdoors. So it's COVID friendly in a really friendly group with the kettle on, and you've got your bit of clay and there's no right or wrong. It's just you having a go and just, getting stuck in.
Especially with the mediums of art like clay and things like this, that's really good because you've made that from the ground up with clay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that is entirely your piece that you've come up with. Whether it be good, bad, in your opinion, you know, you've made that with your hands, got out the house for a morning, had a cup of tea and a chat with everybody. And you've come home with this possibly hideous sculpture. You know, it's something, you know, and it's taking that away from it as well. And thinking, I tried that. That was lovely. That was great. And, you know, I'll then go and tell somebody else. I think social prescribing really probably must play a huge part in all of this.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the whole thing of social prescribing is brilliant and getting people reconnected and doing. And we always say, like, just have a go, just do it, and then have a think back and go, like, what did I like about doing that? And really importantly, what did I not like?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we say, oh, come along and, you know, we've got some clay, and people go, I'm not interested in clay.
Straight away you shut it down.
Yeah, it was almost like, well, have a go, because let's understand what you don't like about doing the clay, because then we can go, right, so actually on our next steps, we won't consider those.
No.
But that's then opened up these.
This is it, or perhaps you liked this aspect of what we were doing today.
Yeah.
Tell you what, this activity over here features an awful lot of that.
Yeah.
Let's try this out, you know. And I think there's so many activities, you know, that we're all aware of. And again, it's really knowing about it. It's the promotion of these groups and these activities, because if people know they're there and they're welcome, more than welcome, they will come to these things, you know.
Yeah, and I think there's a sense of community within the project as well. So lots of people are starting off to meet at these real soft introductions, like come to Shed, have a cup of tea. Then you might meet Maria, who runs the clay workshop or offers the well-being support, which again is done as a group, and it's really friendly, really like light touch stuff, just to give you a bit of a toolkit and for you to share that with others. And then that can lead on to accredited training. So we've got accredited safeguarding training. But you're already in a safe group. So then we find people are more likely to go, oh yeah, actually I will go along next Wednesday. Yeah. And then before you know, you've got a certificate for an accredited training course that you've passed.
That's great. I think,
So,
like
yeah.
you say, you alleviate that pressure, isn't it, of thinking, oh, I'm in a classroom almost. You know, you're
Yeah.
not. You do that first meeting, and that's get to know everybody and think, oh, actually, yeah, this is for me, and you're already involved then. You
Yeah.
know, by the time you've gone to your second class, you're a part of it as much as anybody else is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think also, again, we've got people who were probably might have been in really successful careers and jobs, and then they've lost their job because of the pandemic and lockdown, but they might have been on that path for years, maybe even decades. So suddenly lose your job when you weren't expecting to be in that position. I think sometimes you just need that little, you know, kind human like interaction just to go, do you know what, you have got this, haven't you? Like, look at your CV, look at your skills. You've just got to go and bosh that interview. And then again, that person might offer loads of peer support to other people that are on different stages in their journey. So it's just all that coming together.
Sharing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like you say, I think after the lockdown and things, it really is another chance that the door's been opened again to do these things. And it's like, they are out there again. If you thought about it doing it before, you know, you've not done a lot for 2 years now. Come along now.
Yeah,
you know, now's the time again.
Out.
Precisely, things are opening up again, and people are very welcome to everybody as well. I think this is the thing.
Yeah.
It's good to know. So we've touched on the Shed to Shed project, and obviously we're going to be taking a closer look in a moment with Alex when we go down there and take a look. Tell us a bit more about this project. How did this one come about?
So this one came about, so we know people coming together is a positive thing. We know doing is a brilliant way of actually having conversations and talking. We know if like you sat down to have a chat with somebody, that could be really difficult, but if you're sanding a bit of wood or painting. And then we also know giving, so sharing skills is really positive, and learning obviously is brilliant. And it's down in Resurgin, so Resurgin between Helston and Penzance. And it's just, I think it's 10 till 12 every Thursday morning. And you can drop in, or there's a number, there's a poster going around. It's on the Cornwall Inside Out Facebook page. You can give Chris a ring. If you ring that number, you'll get hold of, he's called Chris Bird. He's the mentor for the project, and he's lovely. And just say, hi, I've seen the poster. Can I find out more? Or can I just pop along?
What kind of things are they building and tinkering with down there? Because I imagine there's some very different things.
Very different things.
Down there. Yeah, I've seen some wonderful bird boxes. I must say, I've got my eye on some bird boxes.
Yeah, so they got bird boxes. They upcycle. Have you seen the boots? They make bird houses out of old boots.
I have. Yes.
They're brilliant.
Yes. See, they can make a whole condo out of one of my boots. They'd be well away. I don't know how they get on with a heel, mind you.
I don't know how they do
no.
it. Work on the heel. There's talks of Christmas decorations out of pallets.
Oh, that'd be good.
And also, I think a big part of it is taking stuff along. So, do you know what I mean? If you've got a lawnmower that doesn't work anymore, or I know Graham, who's the guy who helps us out down there, he's upcycled bikes. Like, if you know,
really helpful, useful things as well, aren't they?
And also, I think lots of people have probably got bikes who they don't use anymore. The kids are grown out of. Like, you could take those along, and then the team can upcycle them, and then that's something that we can then offer to the community
somewhere else. Yeah,
and it's like, you know, there's Christmas coming up,
and if you didn't want that bike that's in the shed already, you think I could do with a bit of room in the shed actually as well, and
toys and things, like, you know, there's lots of things. I know I would have lots of things in my house which I don't actually need anymore, and actually I probably need a little clear out pre-Christmas. But if you think actually this is a really useful item, but it's not quite tip top, it needs a bit of TLC, then that's a great example of take it to shed. They can work their magic,
and if not, then have a cup of tea and a tinker over it, and everybody's happy. Yeah. Cup of tea and a tinker, you can't go wrong. So what other activities are there apart from the Shed to Shed that Inside Out have been involved with? So there's Shed to Shed. There's Maria, so she does her emotional health and wellbeing support, and that's done through workshops and walks. They walk around the Tremere Sculpture Gardens doing Connect 5. She like her clay work, like I said. Then there is Rebuild. So Rebuild do a community project. And you can also do training on a building site, which will take you towards your CSCS card. And then we have Chaos. So we're written in, so you can go to Chaos Farm. Yeah. You can help with the Chaos food boxes. And you've obviously meet Kylie, who is our Smiley Kylie for Chaos Cares. So anybody who thinks, actually, you know, I could fancy care, or I don't know if I do, but I'd like to find out more. Again, it just starts off with a cuppa and a chat, and then that goes straight through. You can go through all of our mandatory training, so that we use as a company.
That is all funded by Inside Out.
So worth just getting that under your belt as well, isn't it? Things like that, you know, you don't
Yeah.
realise the value in it.
Yeah, and like any CV, if you want to go into care, if you've got those mandatories on there, they're going to be like, great, this person's on that
That's
first
a
stepping
job start.
stone.
Yeah, I think it shows willing, doesn't it? Like this person's clearly looking into it, the right way about it as well, and they're taking steps to get to this goal.
Definitely.
So you've touched on it there about getting in contact and coming in for a cup of tea and a chat. How can we find out more about both Inside Out and Shed to Shed project?
So you basically we got a Facebook page, so Cornwall Inside Out.
Yep.
Or it's hello. Oh, Henry, this gets complicated.
Which one are you going for?
I think it's info@clear.net.
Info@clear.net. If not, we shall put it
that.
somewhere here. Perhaps.
I would maybe get the lovely Owen to take that out.
Somebody could do it here.
Yeah, let's just put it there. Can we do that?
We can do that.
Yeah, great.
We'll keep this in and do that. Don't worry.
Oh gosh.
All as well. So thank you very much for coming in for a little chit chat with me today. I hope you've not minded it, and I will definitely have to book you as a guest for the Hen House sometime soon
I'd
as
love
well.
to come on the Hen House.
Poach you on for that for a bit of a chat and chat more about what it is you do here at Chaos as well. Other than that, we're now going down to Shed. Where is it? Say it again.
So is it Resudgen?
Resudgen. That's the way to say it.
Opposite the Chippy.
Opposite the Chippy, down Resudgen. We're off down there now to have a look at the Shed project with Alex. Let's go take a look. Job start. Yeah, I think it shows willing, doesn't it? Like this person's clearly looking into it, the right way about it as well, and they're taking steps to get to this goal.
Definitely.
So you've touched on it there about getting in contact and coming in for a cup of tea and a chat. How can we find out more about both Inside Out and Shed to Shed project?
So you basically we got a Facebook page, so Cornwall Inside Out.
Yep.
Or it's hello. Oh, Henry, this gets complicated.
Which one are you going for?
I think it's info@clear.net.
Info@clear.net. If not, we shall put it somewhere here. Perhaps.
I would maybe get the lovely Owen to take that out.
Somebody could do it here.
Yeah, let's just put it there. Can we do that?
We can do that.
Yeah, great.
We'll keep this in and do that. Don't worry.
Gosh.
All as well. So thank you very much for coming in for a little chit chat with me today. I hope you've not minded it, and I will definitely have to book you as a guest for the Hen House sometime soon
Yes,
as
I'd love
well.
to come on the Hen House.
Poach you on for that for a bit of a chat and chat more about what it is you do here at Chaos as well.
Other
Other than that, we're now going down to Shed. Where is it? Say it again.
So is it Resudgen?
Resudgen. That's the way to say
Opposite the
it.
Chippy.
Opposite the Chippy, down Resudgen. We're off down there now to have a look at the Shed project with Alex. Let's go take a look.
Being inside and perhaps being isolated, to come back out into their community and to think about training and work. So this is a new project. It's called Shed to Shed, and it's going to be every Thursday morning for people to drop in and find out more about the project, but also for people who have joined the project to come along. And it's about repair and reuse, and making the best of the resources that we have, so people can bring along something that that might be broken, or they want mended, or they want to upcycle or change, and instead of leaving it and going away like the repair shop you might see on the television, they will be helped to do that themselves. So they're building skills and knowledge, and if they haven't got those skills and knowledge, there'll be somebody here that has. The whole ethos of Inside Out really is about practical things to do and having things to do in that moment, something to look forward to, being able to connect with others in the community. And this is just one of the ways that people can do that. The other help we have available through the project is some emotional wellbeing support from Clear, which is what we're good at, and Rebuild Southwest. What they do is they try to bring empty spaces and places back into reuse, and they use them as classrooms for people, so people can come along, get back into a routine, get back into talking to each other, feel safe about being around other people, but also learn really good skills around construction and groundwork and those great employability skills that all businesses are looking for.
Hello, my name's Graham Lewis. I run a repair cafe at Whole Again Communities on Trenier Estate. You might have seen the film of us a few weeks ago. But I've known Craig for many years, and he asked whether I would come over here and start another repair cafe at Resurgent. So on a different day, I run the one in WAC on a Tuesday. So we said we'd decide on a Thursday. And I've had a lot of helpers come from WAC to give me a hand to try and get the place ready. We're trying to get it really neat and tidy over here. It was full of rubbish and that, so we've been very busy every week. I've been coming over extra days to get it all cleared out, and we will be ready within a couple of weeks, and then we'll be up and running. Volunteers and the people can call in with bits and pieces that they want repaired. I'll show them how to do it. I mean, do carpentry, repair, all sorts of stuff really. We've got a man who actually will take lawnmowers and take them away and do them. But we'll do most things, a bit like on the repair shop on the TV, but it won't be quite as posh. As you can probably see from the film that they're doing here, we've got pallets that we're making into benches, and we're trying to reuse everything that we can. It's a case of recycle everything, and that's what we're doing. I mean, I'm sat on a settee here that will be recycled, recovered and that, and we've got a few items up on the shelf already over here that are going to be recycled, and we've got many other projects to come. So yeah, I mean, a few weeks time this is going to look completely different, and the outside as well will be all nice and clean. We've got a gardener lady coming over to actually plant up some planters outside, and we're going to be making Christmas decorations outside, like Christmas trees made of pallets, wooden pallets, split up and cut down and painted, and they'll be outside all lit up as well, so watch this space.
Yeah, so my name's Chris Bird. I'm the mentor on the Inside Out project. My role was largely looking after our guys. I maintained regular contact. I offer signposting, information, advice and guidance. So we're here at Shed to Shed at Resurgent. This is where we're going to be running a repair workshop. It's open to everyone, so people can just come down and learn some new skills, have a bit of a social experience, get to know other people, and yeah, contribute towards benefiting the community and the environment in a sustainable way.